Hi Flash Tube, it's Diane. I know it's been more than 2 weeks, but September got away from me. Today is October 3rd. No. 3rd? Yes, October 3rd, 2020. And what's going on this month? We ended up taking a family vacation the end of September back home to Rapid City, and it was so much fun. Oh, yes, we followed all the COVID protocols and stuff in place, but it was nice to do something that we had planned on doing earlier in the summer. And we decided, we're doing it. And we saw things that were open and not open and what's the protocol and stuff. So we followed all that, but it was so nice. When you have a chance to do something to kind of clear the cobwebs, I encourage you to do it. So we went to Rapid City. We went to Mount Rushmore, which, I grew up there, so it wasn't that big of a deal growing up. But now, taking our kids there, it's more of a deal. And so I'll put some pictures at the end, I think. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen some. But I'll try and put some pictures at the end. Well, then I actually have to edit the video. We'll see if I do or not. But we went there, and it was a great day. It was absolutely beautiful weather. Blue skies, and you can do the presidential walk where you walk around and you can look at the monument from different angles, and they talk about the presidents, and you walk in the hills type of thing. And then we drove a pigtail highway, which literally kind of goes like this, and curlicues around and stuff. But it was a beautiful drive, and we ended up at Custer State Park, and we went through the park, and it was the weekend before the roundup. The roundup is they take all the buffalo and they move them to the winter meadows, or where they spend most of the winter time. Then they can monitor the herd, they can see how healthy they are, and that type of thing. So it was the weekend before, so all the animals, they must have known, and they were just kind of in that area anyway. Of course, you get some idiots that get out of their cars. You're not supposed to get out of your cars. These are wild animals, people. And the week before we went out there, apparently one woman, she got out of her car to go pet a male buffalo. Hello, you pet a statue. You don't pet a wild animal. And he kept trying to move away from her, and then finally he turned, and she did not die, but she was injured. They say that don't get out of your vehicle. Just don't. There are some places that the buffalo don't go that you're okay to get out of your vehicle, but that's well marked. But we went there, and then it was one of our son's 16th birthday, and they have a go-kart laser tag place, and that's where we wanted to go. And yes, Mom actually drove a go-kart, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I would do that again. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, because one of our sons that went with us, the two younger stayed at home with Grandma, and then the next son, he wasn't quite tall enough. We thought he was tall enough when we measured him, but they have a mark, and he didn't quite hit that. But he could ride with someone. So he rode with an older brother the first go around, and the second go around he rode with me. But it was a lot of fun, and I would recommend it if you're interested in doing that. I'll link it below, the place we went to. We also went to Bear Country, USA, which is just southwest of Rapid, of Highway 16. And that was worth the money. You go through and you drive over 3 miles, and it's kind of loopy-loop. So it doesn't seem like 3 miles, but it is. And you get to see these different animals in their natural environments. And they had Arctic fox, or Arctic wolves. Oh, those are beautiful, beautiful animals. And he was howling. And, in the movies where you think it's kind of a made-up howl, no, that's how they actually sound. But, yeah, he was a beautiful animal. And so we saw Arctic wolf, We saw bighorn sheep, Dall sheep, D-A-L-L. We saw timber wolves and mountain lions, and a timber wolf who was trying to tackle, or he was bugging a mountain lion. Mountain lion wasn't having any of it. But they're beautiful, and again, these are wild animals. You stay in your vehicle. You stay in your vehicle. And then we saw the bears. The black bears. And I'll try, if I do edit, I will put some video we took of some of the bears. And, you know, this time of year, they're bulking up for hibernation. So they were just big and just beautiful animals. And no, you don't pet them. Then they had an area, let's see, we saw elk, caribou, and I think that was all in that area. Then you go to a different area, you can get out of your vehicle, you use the restroom, there's a gift shop, but they also have a kind of a walk area where they have smaller animals. They had badgers and porcupines, which are very funny to watch walk with all those pins and needles. Martins, groundhogs, but they were hiding. Some kind of wild boar. They had coyotes, which I didn't take a picture of because I don't like coyotes. They had fox, they had Arctic foxes, and they had sea otters, but the sea otters were sleeping. There was a hollow log, you could see them all in there, and they were sleeping, and they had some baby bear cubs, and some wolves, and a raccoon. It was feeding time. So the raccoon, he almost was eating food out of the keeper's hands. So if you ever go to bear country, it's a per person thing, but there's a max per vehicle. So we have 15 passenger van, we had 12 people in it, so it worked really well for us. But I think it's worth it. And you definitely want to go earlier in the day. We went about 10-ish in the morning. I think they open at 9. But that's about feeding time, so then the animals are on the move and you could see them, and it was really fun. And I got this necklace here because I like to collect keychains when I travel and then make them into scissor fobs, and I really didn't like the keychains they had, but I liked this, and the center here spins, so I'm going to make this into a scissor fob. I just haven't had time to put it together. But yeah, we hung out, and if you're on a long trip like that and have children, audio books. But I went to a quilt shop out there. My mom does a lot of quilting with the guild. And I got some wool, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. But I got fabric for project bags that I'm going to make for myself. I found this one, Marine Corps, and the contrast will be this. And then I also found this one was a lot of fun with all the books. Jack and the Beanstalk, and let's see, we have Cinderella over here, and Peter Pan, and then Alice in Wonderland, and Pinocchio, and some other ones. So I'm going to make myself at least one project bag. I might be able to make 2. Sometimes you can make 2 with this being the contrast. And then I also, on that first trip to the quilt shop, because I went more than once, Rapid City is right next to Sturgis, South Dakota, so I had to get a motorcycle one. And the contrast for that bag will be this. So I thought that would be a good, nice contrast. And then I found this fabric. This fabric is gorgeous. This one, with all the animals. And this will be the contrast. So I have some project bags in my future, and I'm just gonna, I got my zippers too. But then I went back another day. When I bought this, this was in the clearance section. So I'm thinking this might make a, I don't remember how much I bought. I bought 1 or 2 yards. So yeah, we'll figure out what I make with that. But then they also had Rushmore and flag fabric. The Liberty Bell, We the People, and then the Constitution. So they had that also with this contrast. And then I found this. This is so cute. Gnomes. And so this will be a bag with this as a contrast, and this will be a bag with this as a contrast. And I'm not sure, but I'm thinking I'm going to use this mushroom as the liner fabric, which I found in clearance in my quilt shop. But I just thought those were so cute. And they're little, you know, traditionally you see gnomes in red hats, and this is just a little different. I like that. And then I found this for other lining, because some of the bags will need lining that I don't have in my stash. And then I also found this towel that I'm going to try to make in a project bag with Mickey Mouse. So we'll see how that goes. I've not made one with this type of fabric, so we'll see. And then, right over here, oh, of course we found some patterns. Of course, because we were in Rapid City, so we had to get the Rapid City pattern. And it says that there's stylized cabins and trees. This looks like a street map to me. But I think it'll be a good way to use up scraps. And then I'm trying to make a queen size quilt for all my children. And so I'm working on child number 6's. I just have to sew the rows together. But this will be child number 7's. And this is all foundation paper piece, which I do like to do foundation paper piecing when I have things set up right. She likes this one that they showed on the inside with the blues. And then there's one in the back here. This one here with kind of the jewel tones. And they have this one. And this one. Except to make a queen, I'm going to have to do another, so it'll be 4 blocks by 4 blocks. So she'll have to choose her 4 favorite ones. Apparently this was a block of the month type of thing. And they put it together in pattern. So I just think it'll be beautiful. And then my youngest daughter chose this one for herself to sew. Mind you, she's never used a sewing machine. So I'm going to be teaching her to sew. And these are all individual blocks. And I don't know if this was a block of the month. I'm not quite sure. This is from It's So Emma, which I believe is Fat Quarter Shop. Adita Sitar, Laundry Basket Quilts. I will try and find this and link it. Same with this one, which is Sassafras Lane Designs. And the other one is in Elizabeth Hartman. And then I found this one, A Tale of Two Gnomes. Now this is a gnome and a mushroom, and here is a gnome and a Christmas tree. Somebody did this and they showed it on Instagram, all in Christmas colors. That's what I wanted to do, so I started looking at their fabrics. They had a fabulous selection of blues, whites, and silvers, some with metallics and some without. So these are what I chose. These will be the hats of the gnome. So there's these trees. There's kind of a branch with silver berries. This is like a Christmas tree fronds. fern fronds. This has a little sparkle in it. I don't know if it's coming across or not. This is kind of a geometric silver blue, another geometric silver blue. This has birds and pine cones on it. And this is also another bird one. Oops, you can see the bird here with kind of some kind of willow. And then this one will be the beard of the gnome. So this will be the hat and the bottom of the gnome, and this will be his beard. And then I have to get a piece for his nose, which I can find from my stash. And then I'm going to do the Christmas trees. So I got 3 kind of wintry, leafy looking fat quarters. This just calls for fat quarters for the trees. And that should be enough for the trees if I read the pattern right. And then it's going to be all, here it shows on light color background and then a sashing. I'm just going to use gray for the entire background. It's just a simple gray. So that is going to be my, and I had to go get interfacing today. That's going to be my quilting thing while my husband is deer hunting. Because deer hunting is next month. But stitching wise, I have a project bag done. And here is the main fabric. Got this at my local quilt shop with a contrast. And the interior is a green plaid. This is following Primitive Stitcher's video, and I'll link it below. Except she makes hers 14 inches wide. I make mine 16 inches wide. And she makes hers, I think I add, can't remember how tall she makes hers, but I add 1 inch to the height and 2 inches to the width. For me, that's a better size. I also made this one. Same contrast, same lining, but a different kind of antique-y, Christmassy feel to the fabric. Kind of a postcard or stamp, sticker kind of feel. And this one I found at my local quilt shop. I really liked this one with the blue. It's kind of denim-y. It looks like it's denim and it's just cotton. And kind of the darning stitches here. And this is the contrast. Don't look at my zipper. The zipper is very wonky. And I use the same green for the inside. The green plaid. So that is my sewing finish, but I have stitching finish. Technically this is Haul New Start finish, not FFO'd yet. This is Erica Michaels, Naughty or Nice. This was a new release the end of August, beginning of September. So you have this main piece here that says nice until proven naughty. And she talked about how, you know, the nice part is all even and balanced and all that. And then you get to the naughty, and this zigzag down here is not, you know, everything kind of falls apart down here. And then she has a naughty berry and a nice berry. I had never done the berries before, but I thought I would try. So this calls for weeks, although there is one DMC. So the first one I did was the naughty berry. And here's the naughty berry. And then I did the nice berry. And then I did the little whole thing together. All 3 of these pieces are on 36 count Dusty Road by Seraphim Fabrics. So they're all, I was able to get them all in the same piece. They use Weeks Dye Works except for the stockings. There's the white is a DMC. Everything is 1 strand over 2 threads with the exception, you see naughty or nice down here is 1/1. And over here, naughty or is 1/1. Otherwise I use the call for colors. And so the wool here is to do the top on the berry. If I don't like that, I also have some red wool or some black but I'm thinking the green will do the best. I think that would be the best, but we will see. I had to get interfacing so I could fully finish them, because I would like them to be Christmas ornaments. So I will stuff them with polyfill so they won't be too heavy. And she usually puts like a button or something at top. I will find something and show it to you guys when it's completed. This is also haul. Be Like a Crow, Erica Michaels. And I've started this. This is on silk gauze, 35 count silk gauze. I'm using the Called for Colors, except the background calls for a Gentle Arts, and I'm using the DMC alternative that's listed in the pattern. And then I've also started the Strawberry, but she also shows these smalls that she took from the chart, and I do plan on working on some of those. I think those would be cute. I don't normally stitch Halloween, but this definitely is a fall feel to me, and I really thought it was just adorable. And so the silk gauze is here. Let me make sure. I was trying to stitch this in the van on our way back. Did not work. But here's the silk gauze. And the stripes you see are the paper underneath. But I'm working on the part where it says Be Like a Crow. I'm just going up. So it's one strand using the continental stitch, and then you fill in the background using the basket weave stitch. Excuse me. And then I barely, again, I thought, well, okay, I can't do that. I'm going to try working on the crow. And I'm sorry, my needle is poking something, and I'm going to lose the needle. There it is. I thought, well, I'll just work on the crow then. So I got barely started on his wing, and it was obvious I could not stitch in the van. So can I say road trips bring something with a higher count fabric? Oh, this is 36 count chalk, as in chalkboard latte by Fiberlicious. Again, I'm using the called for except for the background on that. The other piece that I started this month is my Bristol sampler. This was in the final issue of the Gift of Stitching magazine from 2012. And I'm using DMC 816 on 40 count white. I had thought of coffee tea dyeing it, but first of all, it's DMC. So I think I might coffee tea dye it when it's done. But I'm going to try a little sample first to see if I like it. And here's where I'm at. There's a lot of stitching in these letters. It doesn't look like it, but there's a lot. These go much faster. And I did finish each letter of these big ones before going on, and of these little ones, because you don't want your stitches behind showing. But some of the further, or some of the smaller alphabets on this piece, like this one down here, I think there's only one space between them, so I probably will not finish each letter as I go. What I have noticed when you're doing letters, if you can finish a letter, and it takes a little planning, and stitch it in such a way that if you carry anything, one space, I don't carry more than 3 spaces, unless I know it's going to be covered. If you can get it at an angle, so you're not going straight horizontal or straight vertical, you are less likely to see your threads on the front. Not that you won't. It is still possible. But you are less likely if you do it some kind of angle. So your thread on the back of your fabric is at an angle some way. You're less likely to see it. And I don't really have an example on these particular letters to show you. But it takes some planning to think through it a little bit. But I'm only using one strand over 2 threads on 40 count. And this is the DMC. The DMC they called for, I thought was too bright. I wanted it to be a little more muted. So that's why I chose this color. And I marked the top of my fabric because I need to do that so I remember what is what. But I bought 20 skeins. I don't know if it's going to need 20 skeins, but that is what they suggested with that piece. Also, from my virtual retreat I did in August, I finished this piece. This is on 30 count silk gauze in the called for colors. I don't know if this pattern will ever be released to the public. Linda, when I contacted her, said she's not sure either. But it's all on the silk gauze, so now I need to fully finish it. But I think last time I showed it, I was almost done. But now it's done. I also started this guy. Autumn Forest Quaker. And that is the designer. I will link them below. They're German, so I don't want to butcher their name. This is on 40 count summer khaki. Zweigart. And I was able to get the center motif and the bunny rabbit below finished. I'm really liking the colors on this one. Very autumnal colors. So I really like it, and the pattern is pretty easy to read. I will say on this particular pattern, one color is used for two different symbols, and I'm not quite sure why. I know often when that happens, it's because of symbols around it, but these are separate motifs. And then and the colors for one symbol for two different colors, they also have that. And they're very different colors. So I'm glad that it comes with a color picture, because otherwise I wouldn't know which one to use where. But my other haul is, I got my nest egg from Trish at 3L Threads. This is 2 months worth. These are classic color works. It's if she has openings, I think she closed it because of some supply issues. But whenever she opens it back up, I encourage you to do this. I did the Gentle Arts for a while, and then I had enough Gentle Arts. I said, can I switch to Classic Colorworks? And I also received from Fiberlicious. I used to get fabrics from her, and now I'm doing the cottons. So these are pretty highly variegated, but I think they'll be really pretty in certain designs. Like this pink is really nice. And my order got lost in the mail for 2 months in a row, and she couldn't figure out why either. So she sent new ones, and then to apologize for it, it wasn't her fault. It was a supply issue. I cross-stitch so I don't kill people. She gave me this needle minder. So I thought that was really sweet of her. And I didn't blame her, and I wasn't in a rush. I just said, you know, it hasn't shown up at all. Do you have a tracking number? And she couldn't find it, and I've had that. I was selling something on eBay, and the person still hasn't received it after 2.5 months. And I also got this, the 2020 Christmas ornament issue. Just cross-stitch. It's not the best. I do like the finishing though. The finishing they show in this one is just fabulous. But as other years, I've liked the designs more. Although I do like this one, which I believe is Arlene's. I believe this one is Arlene Cohen's. It's beautiful. And I like the bison. That's kind of unusual. But I'm sure as I go through it, I will find something to stitch. Dot is in a mood. He was up way too early this morning because I had to take my daughter into work. She had to work at 6, so I had to be up at 5, and guess who likes to be an early riser? So, let's see. Also, on our trip, I had some family history stuff, so I'm doing some genealogy, and Pam from Just Keep Stitching is helping, but here is a picture. These are, okay, this guy here is my grandma's my grandma's grandfather. And he emigrated from Norway. And this is his brother Seaver. And this is his other brother Seaver. So you have little Seaver and big Seaver. And this is John. And this is Oli. This is a copy of a picture. So it's circa 1890, 1900, somewhere in there. So it's kind of cool to find that family history. And this is my grandpa and my grandma in 1942. He was age 19 and she was age 18. So it's kind of fun. So I'm digging into our family history. I got a bunch of information to look through and figure out who is who, because as in many families, there are names that are passed down generation to generation to generation. So making sure you have the right person can be a little more challenging. But that's all I have for stitching stash. I have my quilting stash because I like to quilt more this time of year than stitch. So I will probably show some quilts and project bags. But I am still stitching here in October. I choose not to stitch Halloween. Personal choice. But October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And my mom is a breast cancer survivor. And I shared this on Instagram. But in October, I am stitching on pieces that have pink in them for breast cancer awareness. And I do have a hashtag. It is, the hashtag stitch in pink in October. I will link that below, or it'll be below somewhere in the description box. So the pieces I'm going to stitch in the month of October have to have pink in them. So either it's in the name, it's maybe the designer, which I don't think I have one, but I know that there's a designer. It's something pink in their name. The fabric is pink, or the fibers are pink, or maybe the embellishments. And I encourage you to join if you choose and use that hashtag. And you don't necessarily have to be stitching on the pink section as long as the overall design has pink in it. And this is a piece I'm going to start. I wanted to start this last month and I just didn't get to it. It is Forest Quaker. And I'm going to stitch it on 40 count flax, I believe. This is flax. Where's the tag? Yes, flax. And here are the colors. All these beautiful pinks and browns. It's by the same designer as Autumn Forest Quaker. Again, I'll put the information below. So I'm going to definitely start that one after I work on this guy. This is the Historic Countries Sampler through the Gift of Stitching magazine. And the colors include some pinks. There's some pinks. Because I was almost done with England Part 2 here, and I finished that. And then I finished Ireland, and there's some specialty stitches through here. This is darning stitches, the Irish stitch, appropriate for Ireland. And there's a herringbone, and this whole alphabet is the four-sided stitch. And I've started on the Holland portion of the design. I don't remember if the Holland portion has pink in it, but the overall design has pink. Because my goal is to do one section each month. And I did finish the Irish section in September, But now I'm going to work on the Holland section. And this is what I stitched last night, so it's going pretty quickly. But I like this overall design. Let's see if I have a picture. I don't think I have I definitely don't have a color picture. But there is a group on Facebook I will link in case you are interested in stitching this piece. It's this guy. Deb from Country Stitchers showed it in one of her videos. I can't remember which video, otherwise I'd link it. But I will link the magazine. So if you're interested in purchasing the magazine, either just the ones that, that have this chart in it, or you can purchase all 100 issues. I will link that information below. I am really, really enjoying this magazine. I received it for Mother's Day, all 100 issues, and the Bristol samplers from that. I stitched the Double Dutch sampler, which is over there. And yeah, so this piece has pink in it, even if I don't use pink in this particular section, but I think I do. I think pink is about every section, so it qualifies under my hashtag. But again, when I posted on Instagram, someone shared that her family's been affected by breast cancer, her mom and her sister. And I know that cancer, it's affected me too. I mean, my oldest daughter is a Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor. My mom, breast cancer survivor. My dad, a bladder cancer and a prostate cancer survivor. So yeah, it strikes, it can affect everybody. But that's what I'm doing for October, is stitching pink. So you're welcome to join me, and the hashtag is below, Stitch in Pink in October. So coming up in October, we'll be prepping for deer season, and I don't know how many kids will stay here with me and how many will go up north. I was hoping I'd only have the 3 youngest, but I will probably have more. I told my husband, one of these years I am going to have less kids at home when you're deer hunting than you will have with you. It just looks like this year it won't be it again. Although, yeah, it could be just the 3, and then the oldest, however many will go with him. At least 7 will go with him over the time frame. But hopefully next time I'll have those those berries done. I've never made a berry, so that's going to be a new experience. But Linda walked through it, and she's a wonderful teacher. So if you have a chance to go to one of her retreats or any place she's teaching, like Galleria or something, because I know she's taught there in the past, do it. She's a very, very good teacher. But yeah, that's all I have. And so I will let you go. And I might put some little snippet videos or pictures at the end of our vacation. We were out there for 8 days. Oh, and on the day before we left, that Saturday, the hotel we stayed in is to the Watiki water park. And I'll link that below too. And so we spent the day at the water park. And yes, they made Mom go down the slides. There are 2 slides that you have to have an inner tube to use. And you can have a dual one. So I went down with every child one of those slides. So I had to walk all the way up the stairs and go down all the way up the stairs. And it took me an hour to go through the 8 children that were there, because the youngers had gone with Grandma and their big sister. And then I sat with my husband for a little bit. Here I thought I'd be sitting in the hot tub the whole time. And I said, okay, I'll go down one more time with each child. It took me another hour to do that. I was so tired. I was a lot less sore than I thought I'd be, because then I said, you know what, I am going to sit in the hot tub. But yeah, they flipped me out of the tube at least 3 times. And they think I have forgotten, but I haven't forgotten. But I can't swim. I sink. I don't swim. I've always wanted to swim. I've tried, I've taken lessons, I've done the things, but I can't swim. So this was a good compromise. And I took Mini Dot because he was there for a little while, and I took him down the shortest slide. I didn't realize that the trough at the bottom was so deep because I ended up on my back, and oh man, he was so mad. But he went down the water slide. He's only 3, but it was a way of getting him used to the water. Mind you, this child does not like having his nails clipped, his hair cut. It takes 3 of us to hold him to get his hair cut, or baths. It's just the way he's wired. But it was a lot of fun, and I wasn't as sore as I thought I would be. I was tired, but I wasn't as sore as I thought I would be. But it was a lot of fun, and I'll link, if I forget a link, just remind me. Just say, you said you would link this, and I'll put it below. But yeah, I'm going to be stitching on things that are pink this month, and I welcome you to join me. And I'm mondot stitches on Instagram, mondotstitches@gmail.com. Feel free to follow, contact me, what have you. And this month is my 6th year anniversary on FlossTube. I think it was October 16th or the 28th. I think it was the 16th. I'd have to look at my original video. So, yeah, the next video, I might do something. I don't know. We shall see. But I know some of you have followed me from the beginning, and I thank you. And if you just found my channel, thank you. There's so many FlossTube channels out there. I'm going to link at least 3 FlossTubers that I have enjoyed watching recently. Some of them are newer, some of them I've watched for a long time. So I will link them, and feel free to watch them if you're looking for more people to watch. But I thank you for watching this video and hearing me babble on, and I'll put some pictures at the end if you want to watch them, feel free. And I think some of the videos have audio, but they're watching the bears, because they were so cute. They were so cute. And one, which I'll probably put the video at the end, since I have to edit this anyway. He was taking a bath, looking around going, why are you people watching me take a bath? But he was really cute. So enjoy it, or see you next time. Love to you all. Bye.
Look at the baby. 2 babies. Look at how easy he gets up there.
He's more of a mountain. What about you? Oh! They can't decide.
Then you go to Timberwolves, Mountain Lions, Bells, Timberwolves, and then something else in Wolves.
And the kind of person that stops traffic, huh?
You're filthy.
Gonna fight with a mountain lion. Yeah, see the mountain lion's in the corner. And he's growling at him, telling him to get away.
You will see
Ooh, pretty
he's
animal.
still quite a bit to the end of the Mountain Lion.
And now he's sitting there going, okay, I'm sunning myself.
Ooh, bound tail!
Scratching himself. He's rubbing himself.
Look at him, look at him.
He's scratching.
Scratching.
He's like, oh, I got an itch. He is a big, oh my word.
Oh, that guy's bigger. And the black one's over there. Did he move?
No, he's still dead
Sitting
there.
there.
That's so interesting.
Those are big bears.
Look at that guy over there. He's got his legs spread. He's like,
Scratching his butt.
Yeah, with a D!
He's got
And
it.
that one back there is huffing.
It must already be warm.
Yeah, the bit.
It's only 70 degrees. It's already warm. You see that one right there? He's so close to Van. How about this guy here, Braden?
I see the
You taking pictures of that?
Yeah, of course.
I think he's gonna lay on his back a little bit and swim in the water.
You just gonna sit there and stay cool.
We will see the bell sooner than later, Braden.
Can you see the? You can't. Braden can't see this one.
No, you can't see this
Just
one.
keep going up ahead and we'll try seeing it.
I got a video of him though.
Wait, look
Braden
at
can see
the
him.
phone. You can see the bell with that.
He's getting his face.
Oh, he's washing his face.